the wind. It's a completely different boat when you go around the turn and get that tailwind going down the backstretch. So these drivers had their hands full coming up the front stretch into that real good headwind. This is about the maximum wind that we want to run a smaller 2.5 stock heat in, but if it doesn't get any worse, we'll go right away to our second qualifier. All right, well, we got through our first heat with just a buoy. Okay, I'm being told we're adjusting the schedule again. We're going to go pro stock. First qualifier for the day, pro stocks. These are our big block powered flat bottom ski boats. Pro stocks, you need to be 16 years old at least to drive these boats. Well, I don't know. A 16-year-old would have his hands full with these machines, I got to tell you. They're powered by just about any American-made automotive V8, up to 500 cubic inches, any carb or fuel injection system, 16-foot minimum, 20-foot maximum in length. They can run racing gasoline or methanol. They're about 1,800 pounds minimum, and they're capable of 137.586 miles an hour on a straightaway. And we're running a really short course here, so you're going to see probably around 90 to 95, close to 100-mile-an-hour bursts toward the end of the straightaway. So they should hold about an 85-mile-an-hour average around this course. Not for the faint of heart, these boats. They have, again, ridiculous horsepower, probably 600-700 horsepower. Throttle control is very important. Also, the trim control in these boats is very important. The driver controls the trim plate at the rear of the boat with his left foot as he's trying to keep the throttle under control. Okay, this is our first hole today till we get a new buoy in place. So now's your chance. I just had a breakfast sandwich from one of the vendors my wife brought me. Excuse me. Delicious. Everything I've eaten here all weekend long from the vendors along the back of the Spectator area here, I haven't had anything that's bad. Really good food. So get up there, get yourself something to eat, something to drink. Maybe head down and pick up a t-shirt from the t-shirt stand on the far right of the Spectator area near the pits. If you were here yesterday and you bought a pit pass, you can go right back in there today. But if today is your first day here, pick yourself up a pit pass. It's extra $10. Get in there and check out these boats. Drivers, everyone, very friendly. So the equipment is just immaculate, spectacular. So if you get a chance, buy a $10 pit pass, get in there, check out this equipment, and speak to the drivers and owners. They're friendly people. If you're interested in getting involved in this sport, dive in. We have a driver here last year that came to this race and said, this looks like fun. I think I might try this. Yesterday, he's finished his first heats here on Seneca Lake in a national modified, so it's very doable. This sport's easy to get into. There are a lot of people that'll help you. So if you're interested in getting involved in this, either as a helper to put these events on or to participate, get that pit pass. Head on in. Everybody will talk to you. Just ask. All right, so the return judge and rescue boats headed back in to pick up a new buoy. Again, we're going to be on hold for a second, so I'll be back in a bit.
days get longer. Seems there ain't no end inside. To sleep would be best, but I just can't afford to rest. I got a ride in Denver tomorrow night. I called the house but no one answered. For the last 2 weeks no one's been home. I guess it's through with me. To tell the truth I just can't see what's kept a woman holding on this long. And the white line's getting longer, and the saddle's getting cold. I'm much too young to keep this demo. All the cards are on the table, with no ace left in the hole. I'm much too young to keep this demo. Competition's getting younger. Up and down, no, I can't recall. A worn out tape, lonely women and bad news seem to be the only friends I've left at all. And the white line's getting longer, and the saddle's getting longer. I'm much too young to keep this demo. All the cards are on the table, with no ace left in the hole. I'm much too young to keep this demo. Lord, I'm much too young to keep this demo.
There's something about your love that makes it hard to sleep. Just try to take advantage of a working girl like me. Well, I've seen you straight 'em up, and I've seen you take them down. I love a single finger, and you gotta take it down. Oh, what you get, roses. Don't wanna have you before. Don't wanna be your living God. Don't wanna be no woman's born. Well, I don't wanna watch you turn your head when I tear the roses. Oh, I'm not gonna lay me down. You're dead roses.
on those buoys out there. As soon as they get that big yellow buoy in the apex, we call that the apex pin. That's the very center of the turn. Kind of important to place it right in the correct position. You put it too far out, the drivers have what we call a pendulum. They got to go around that turn real tight. And a lot of these boats are set up for big sweeping turns. So some of the drivers won't be really thrilled if the turn is too tight. So they're going to be very careful of the placement of that buoy. As soon as we get that done, we're going racing again. See quite a few boats in the water down there. I want to thank the crane operators for what they do here. We can't put these boats in and out of the water with the trailers. They have to come off with a crane and be launched into the water by crane. They have a set of slings that attach to lifting points in each boat. The crane operator will pull the boat right up, straight up off the trailer and swing it around, set it in the water. And repeat over and over again all day long, pulling them out, putting them in. So thank those guys again. Well, we had the wind kicked up a bit and took it right to the edge of what we could do with the smaller hydroplanes, but now it seems to be backing off again. Hopefully we won't get any big wind, and if we do, if it stays out of the west, it shouldn't be too bad. Again, we're back to the pro stocks. We're going to run them now. A lot of skill to drive one of these machines. You only have to be 16 years old to get in one, but I got to tell you, you better be an accomplished boat racer at 16 years old to put in one of these things. Most of the pro stocks are not capsuled. Some are and some aren't. The ones with a capsule, the driver is strapped in with a 5-point harness, most likely supplied with a scuba tank, air to breathe in case something happens and the boat ends up upside down. He has an air breathing supply, usually about 20 minutes worth of air. So if there's a problem getting himself out of the boat, or if a rescue has a problem pulling him out of the boat, they have some time, as long as they don't panic. But the open cockpit pro stocks, the driver holds himself in the boat in a bucket seat. A lot of times these bucket seats are custom made for the driver to hold tight to his posterior. That's one way to wedge, and he'll push himself back with the trim control pedal and the throttle and wedge himself tight into the seat and hold on to that steering wheel. That's all that holds him in that boat. A lot of courage, in my opinion, to run one of these boats without a capsule. The advantage of that is you can see real well. You can look over your shoulder, no problem, see who's around you, who's behind you, in front of you. When you're in the capsule, you have a little bit of a tough time seeing around. Your peripheral vision is very much compromised. So kind of important. They also, most of the pro stocks where they'll have a capsule will have a crew chief on the shore with a radio system communicating with the driver in the boat to let him know who's near him. And again, the 4-boat overlap rule applies to all classes here today, so you cannot change lanes in front of the boat behind you unless you have 4 full boat lengths in front of them. Kind of hard to judge when you're inside of one of these capsules. They do have side rear view mirrors, but from what I've been told, the vibration really makes it difficult to focus on a boat that's behind and outside of you, so it's kind of important for the crew chief to let that driver know through his radio who's near him. And you won't find too many radio systems in an open cockpit because that driver, all he's hearing is wind blast and exhaust note in his ear. Again, the open cockpit pro stocks, the driver has the luxury of being able to look over his shoulder and see who's around him. These boats accelerate with extreme acceleration G-forces. The driver is very, very, what's the word? It has to be very, very smooth on the throttle exiting the corners, because these boats have so much power that they will, if the driver is not down on the trim plate and he mashes the throttle too hard, the boat will stand right up and leap right out of the water. And I guess it's a toss of the coin whether it's going to come back into the water flat, and if not, it could do a corkscrew, end up upside down and get ugly. So these drivers are very, very smooth oriented driving. It's very important in these high horsepower classes. A little later in the day, we're going to have the K racing runabouts. If you were here yesterday, you may have had the pleasure to see one K racing runabout heat. Now these guys are really into throttle control because they have 1,600 horsepower, maybe between 14 and 1,600. So 1,000 more horsepower than the Pro Stock boat with pretty much the same type hull. Very, very, very sensitive throttle control. We put on quite a show with the K boats yesterday, so hopefully the weather will cooperate with us and we get a full Sunday or Saturday and Sunday program in here. Okay, that apex buoy is in place in turn one. And you're going to hear me all day long if you weren't here today. Turn one and turn two. Turn one is to the right of the seawall here, and turn two is to the left. The front straight is right in front of us, and the back straight is further away. So they run counterclockwise 4 laps today. So these are all 4-lap sprints. So everything goes well. We're going to run our Saturday program, which is the Pro Stock is coming up next. You saw the 2.5 stock qualifier. After the Pro Stock will be the second 2.5 qualifier. We have enough 2.5 stock hydros here that we need to run qualifying heats, and then the top 8 transfer to the final. After the 2.5 stocks run, we got Grand National hydroplanes. They're a sight to see. Big block powered hydroplanes. Basically stock, but boy, oh boy, you would never know. When you see them hit the throttle and that boat starts to pack air about halfway down the straightaway. Real exciting class. A pretty strong field of Grand National hydroplanes. For 4 boats here, they can all make the call. Real exciting to have 4 GNHs on the race course. Glad to see a little bit of a resurgence in this class. We've been struggling to get boat counts over the last couple of years, so I want to thank the GNH teams for getting it done, getting out here. After that, we're going to run a combination 1.5 stock and 1 liter mod, which is 2 different classes running together. The 1.5 stock is a 4-cylinder Toyota powered class. Everybody's running the 4AC Toyota, old Corolla motors, basically stock in this class. But we're going to combine that class with the 1 liter mods, which are 99% of those boats now are powered by 2-cycle personal watercraft engines, most of them Yamaha Wave Runner 1100cc 2-strokes, and man, do they make some noise. And they really fly too. They're capable of about 105 miles an hour, I believe. 1 to the 4. 1 to the 4. Pro Stock runabout. 2nd annual HydroBowl in Seneca Lake. Thank Geneva, the town of Geneva, for bringing us out here this weekend, giving us a lot of help. Beautiful racing venue here. The drivers are all preparing to go. They're going to get ready to, they set their clock. The pit boss will be down there and he'll yell down to them as the clock counts down. They'll all set their clocks right when the hour clock hits 4 minutes, and we're 30 seconds away from that right now. Again, all these classes are going to come out here at the 4-minute start, mill around, do their timing runs, try to be right in front of us here when they reach 1 minute. At that point, whatever lane they have gotten themselves into, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Okay, 4-minute period has begun. Let's go racing Pro Stock. Big block power. any carburetor or fuel injection system except for electronic. These are a mechanical fuel injection or carbureted. You can burn racing gasoline or methanol. Again, approximately 600 to 800 horsepower depending on the state of tune of these boats. First one out looks to me like Pro Stock 24, Paul Fitzgerald. We got 10 Pro Stocks here. If they all make the call, this is going to be an insane racing heat. Having 10 big block Pro Stocks on the race course all at once. Do my best to call them. There's a whole bunch of them out there. 2 minutes, 35 seconds to the start. You see these guys are taking it easy. Again, they need to get a little bit of heat in the engine.